Hey, this is Neil's on Dynasty. Please like, share, and subscribe. Shadow concurs. So does Silver. What's up, Shadow? Be kind, helpful, and grateful because it's so much better than being a jerk. And look at platinum, silver, and crystallized osmium. I know you probably never heard of crystallized osmium, but look into them. Not as a financial advice, but as sound advice to put your monies that can, hold their value at least and most likely gain value, but I don't know. I'm not a financial advisor. I suggest you talk to a financial advisor, but definitely look into buying some silver, some platinum, and crystallized osmium. That's not what this is about. This is about what? Cool special effects. I just bought this thing. It's called an articulating elbow, and this is what the articulating elbow special effects does. What? Holy cow! I'm going high tech. No, this is about the PLO Lumba unleashing explosive revelations on Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger's new military leaders. The reason why I've done so many reports on that area is I recognized the possibility of it being a thing, but no one was talking about it. So this gentleman comes out and he talks about it. And if you look at it from a perspective of not coups, because that word puts you in a certain mindset, and you see things and you're like, okay, whatever. You just write it off coup. Yeah, okay. The difference between that word and the word revolution, not coup, brings significant differences to what the outcomes are going to be. And that's why I do so much on the West Africa Sahel region, because I've recognized it as not a coup, but something more than a coup. I didn't put revolution on it, but I knew it was more than a coup. So I'm going to bring you this report here from someone else who actually explains it because, well, he lives there, I guess, and knows better. This is Africa is Powerful. PLO Lumbia unleashes explosive revelations. I already said that. Do this number right here. See that? All right, now let me go ahead and turn the volume up for you because you guys are going to want to hear what he has to say. It's about 14 minutes long. We're not going to do the whole thing. Obviously, I don't do videos that long. Yeah, it's like 14 minutes. But here we go. Let's see what he has to say.
These are not coup d'etats. These are revolutions. They are revolutions because it has become obvious that those who are lackeys of France in the Sahelian region were manipulating the electoral process, were using institutions such as the judiciary for purposes of perpetuating the French agenda. And that these young men from the military came out and said, no, when the people cannot do it through traditional revolution, we are going to do it through the barrel of the gun and use the institution of the military to change the equation. And they have changed the equation. How have they changed the equation? First, they are saying we are cutting political ties with Paris. Secondly, we are cutting economic ties with Paris. We are getting
That's
out
Paris,
of any
France.
organization which is led by France. We are cutting off the situation that compels us to use the currency that is printed in France. We are ensuring that our resources are going to be refined, and they are entering into arrangements with a number of countries, including Russia and China, to begin to build institutions and installations that are going to refine their uranium, refine their gold so that there is value addition. What is happening in the Sahelian region is, in my submission and in the view of many independent commentators, the beginning of the total liberation not only of those countries but the former French colonies. And it is not lost on me that the leaders of those countries are sending a very clear message. They are sending the message that any institution which makes the claim that is a pan-African institution but is being controlled from outside will be defied. I remember that day, the day after the coup d'etat in Niger, And I remember the meetings that were held in Accra, Ghana, the meetings that were held in Abuja, Nigeria, the meetings that gave a 72-hour ultimatum to Niger and said, we are going to invade you, not in so many words, but we are not going to allow you. I remember the sanctions that were imposed upon Niger. And I remember all the three leaders, Traore in Burkina, and I remember the new leaders in Niger. I remember the leaders in Mali saying, we are now entering into a military pact. You attack Niger, you have attacked Mali, you attack Burkina, you have attacked Mali, and you have attacked Niger, and of course, even Dumbuya in Guinea-Conakry said, we will join you. That is a new face. It is a face that was not contemplated, and the Sahelian revolution, because it is a revolution, is beginning to redefine how former French colonies are relating with France at the critical levels, including the area of trade, including control of their militaries, including control of their language. And it is not lost on me that in Mali, they have actually declared that French is no longer the national language. Bambara is now the national language. It is a clear statement that they are beginning to regain their independence, and they are doing it in a manner that was not anticipated and in a manner that was not contemplated. It begs the question, will the men in uniform continue to be in power until kingdom come? No. They have said in Burkina, they have said in Niger, they have said in Mali, they have said in Guinea-Conakry, we are midwives. We have come here for a short time to clean up the mess that has been with us. We have come here to clean up the mess that the French have always created. We have come here to ensure that the insurgency, which is sponsored by the French in Burkina Faso, which is sponsored by them in Mali, which is sponsored by them in Niger, which is sponsored by them in Guinea-Conakry, that this insurgency will eliminate it and will introduce a new system of governance which will allow the peoples of our country to participate in their governance without being controlled from Paris. They are saying that we have been puppets for too long. We are now regaining our independence, and this revolution is a revolution which is unique, is a revolution which is being defined and refined by young Africans whose agenda is the spirit of Pan-Africanism. The Sahelian revolution is a revolution which will change the continent of Africa and redefine Africa's relationship with the former colonizers.
Okay, having said all of that, I have, of course, some extra narration to add to it. What I believe this means is if it is actually, as he's calling it, a revolution, that means other countries, which have already started to happen, will join them, which means the powers that be will lose power, which means we have an American revolution happening in the west coast of Africa, in the Sahel regions, for which I've been talking about for a long time. I've also said for a long time, trade agreements and treaties are the new charts. And what I've just shown you from what they've just said in their own mouth, if they're kicking out the old and bringing in the new, what's that mean? New trade agreements and treaties will be made with these new free, independent, revolutionary nations. Wow, I was right. West Africa will take over the GDP of Africa from South Africa, which will pull BRICS down even further, which will hurt China big time, especially when we over here in America and Thunder Bay take over the platinum supply for the world and take it away from Africa as well, South Africa. That's going to affect China big time. That's when the problems are going to start. And it'll probably start 2028, 2029, 2030, in my estimations. But y'all have a great day, and I will chat at you later.